everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. Matt Eberflus. I am saying it every single time till everyone knows that I have redeemed myself. I would like to clear that up, but welcome to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, joined alongside my good friend and co-host Tony Cepeda. We got more news coming your way. A lot of news coming out over the last 24 hours from our last video. Make sure that you go and watch that on the new additions to the coaching staff. But a very expensive and quickly could happen news coming up. Rumor mill has it that Davante Adams could come and play for the Chicago Bears next month. He's an unrestricted free agent, and we can thank Luke Getsy for being the guy that is reeling him in. So, Tony, before we begin going over the Davante Adams situation, breaking it down and how the Bears could potentially pull it off, if you had to choose between getting tackled by Khalil Mack or Robert Quinn, I'm talking full-blown, like, bodied at a nightclub, what would you do? Who would it be and why?
I think the correct answer is Robert Quinn, 10,000%. Don't get me wrong. I'm not athletic, nor am I tough. I'll put that out there. And Robert Quinn, definitely an above average defensive end, literally the all-time sack leader for the Chicago Bears this season. However, Khalil Mack is an absolute freak of nature that would disintegrate my bones on contact. And it just is what it is. No disrespect to Robert Quinn. I think he'd agree. I genuinely think he'd agree. Khalil Mack is terrifying.
But okay, so if Khalil Mack tackled you for $10 million and then Robert Quinn tackled you for $5 million and same situation, who would it be?
Wow, I didn't even expect that. I think I'd have to go Robert Quinn. I think I would.
Yeah,
die.
you would
if
get
Khalil
destroyed.
Mack tackled me, I wouldn't get to spend the $10 million. I would be dead.
Okay, well, what would you guys choose? That's going to be our main comment at the bottom. So choose what you would do. And also any thoughts that you have of Davante Adams coming to the Bears. We also have another coach signing, so want to put that out there. But Tony, one more big announcement in regards to a giveaway that you guys can all get in on.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we kind of jump into it all, we want to let you know that you have a chance to win a signed, it's Beckett certified, so it's legit, Jalen Johnson jersey. You've come to the right place if you're looking for all your signed memorabilia. So starting today through Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Both accounts are at official Jaychi, Jaychi.
And they'll be in the description as well. Links to those accounts will be in the description.
Yes, do not fall for any fake accounts. People like to try to, steal your information, jump on by making fake accounts that are similar, and just make sure you are only following the official stuff. So follow us for a chance to win. Winner will be chosen on 2/13. So again, Super Bowl Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We don't do Eastern Time in Chicago. Great vibes before watching the game. And the winner will be announced on our show that Monday. So the Monday after.
If you want to be announced, we totally respect your privacy. Yes. We will let you know. We will ask ahead of time. But good luck. It's legit. It's a Bear Blues. Go over to our Instagram and Twitter account. You'll see the picture of it. It's pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. But again, all right, let's go to what you guys want to hear today. And that is Davante Adams potentially coming to the Chicago Bears, the unrestricted free agent. Honestly, the number one player in free agency that's available this upcoming offseason. Could be on the market and could be coming to Chicago. So Tony, why don't you break it down for us?
Yeah. So Davante Adams set to become an unrestricted free agent this coming offseason. People are talking about like trades and stuff, but he'd have to be tagged and then traded. So this is probably the most likely option if he is going to walk or if he's going to leave the Packers. So come next month, he's free to talk to whoever he wants, whatever he wants, and for, however much he wants, which rumor has it, Davante Adams is wanting between $25 and $30 million per year.
Holy shnikes.
That's a lot of cash.
That's a lot of dough. Chris Farley even thinks so.
Yeah. So not saying he doesn't deserve it. And here we'll go over kind of why, and we'll break down why it may or may not be reasonable for the Bears. There are teams out there that can't afford it. And honestly, it would definitely help their team. So in 2020, he had 115 receptions, 1,374 receiving yards, 11.9. That's 11.9 average. He's catching a first down
every single time.
On average, every single catch. So 18 touchdowns. I mean, that's especially for a weird year, COVID year, and he's still just absolutely popped off.
He had more receiving touchdowns than the Bears have, I believe, tossing touchdowns this year. How pathetic! But
yes,
like he's instantly going to help us out.
Yeah. So 2021, he had 123 receptions, so he had more catches. 1,553 yards, 200 more yards than the year before, 12.6 average. He did only have 11 touchdowns. I'm sure we could blame Aaron Rodgers for that, absolute choker. So he's really good at football. Again, he's had Aaron Rodgers for his whole career, but a lot of the throws that he's caught, like it's just those little slants over the middle, whatever it is, I can make that throw. And he's good enough. He can make the catch. So
Tony was a low-key quarterback like in college that no one knew about. And the reason why he went to Whitewater is because he was, Joe Burrow took his fame. So Tony likes to be very humble about it, but yes, Tony could definitely make that throw.
Yeah, it was so low-key, not one single person knows about it. So why does Davante Adams want to come to Chicago, or why could he want to come to Chicago? Luke Getsy, plain and simple. This is the man that has been praised by every Packers player. And I know, not exactly a Packers podcast over here. However, their words do hold weight. These are still NFL. They're still NFL players, especially Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. Luke Getsy was Adams' wide receiver coach from 2016 to 2017, along with becoming the quarterback coach, who obviously works very closely with the wide receivers from 2019 to 2021, along with being the passing game coordinator from 2020 to 2021. So then they're definitely working hand in hand there. So he knew how to work with Davante, as we've seen against the Bears and also in the playoffs against other teams. And he knew how to make plays work, and he has his respect, of course. So I guess we can kind of jump right into this question here, Nick. Do we want him in Chicago?
I'll kick this one off. For the talent, there is no doubt. Like, he is the best that it gets as of right now. He's in his prime. He's going to be 30 years old. But at the same time, no, I don't want him in Chicago. And here's why. Just from a business and Bears future standpoint, it's not the right time for him to come to Chicago. And there's going to be another Davante Adams out there eventually. Calvin Ridley is available on the market. There's wide receivers in the draft that we can pick up. We have Darnell Mooney. We have the younger talent. He'd waste his time here like Allen Robinson did if he came to Chicago. And, at least for the first year, because our O-line is still a gigantic question mark this upcoming season. You have young talent, Larry Borum, you have James Daniel, you have Tevin Jenkins, you have Cody Whitehair and Sam Mustipher, who have all flashed greatness. I mean, Cody Whitehair obviously is consistent in James Daniels, but you got to figure out where you're going to put people on the offensive line. Are the Bears going to go out and get someone in free agent? How is the new offensive line coach, Chris Morgan, going to work? Like, there's so much unknown with the offensive line. And in order for Justin Fields to have the protection, in order to get the ball out and get it to Davante Adams, he's got to have time. He can't be getting sacked 9 times in a game like he did against Cleveland this year. So it's just, you got to sit down and go, I would love to have the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL on my team. I would love to have him for a young developing quarterback in Justin Fields, but he would be wasted. I would rather pay Allen Robinson $20 million and get, a premier offensive line. And I know it's a $10 million difference. I mean, I don't know if they can tag him again. I'm not sure about that. I think you can double tag guys. But I don't know what the tag average is going to be, because it could go up this year. And the Bears still have to figure out their cap situation. I mean, they do have $30 million as of right now, but are they going to bring back Hakeem Hicks? Are they going to bring back Alec Ogletree? Are they going to, what are they exactly going to do? You have to re-sign David Montgomery. You have to extend David Montgomery. You have to extend Roquan Smith. Davante Adams, that would be if the Bears were like in Super Bowl position this upcoming season and it was a 1-year deal. So I think it'd be a huge waste of money. I would love it if he signed a 1-year contract with the Packers and was like, I still want to go to Chicago, but I got to give him a year to get their cap situation figured out. Because I believe in 2023, they got a boatload of money. I think it's over like $100 million in cap. So that's it. That's just it for me. I'm going no right now.
Yeah, I'm also going to go to, again, yes, we would like to have arguably
no
the best
doubt
wide
we would
receiver
take it if money wasn't a thing
on our team. Yeah, but I totally agree with you on that. If we were ready to go, if this was the year, like window closing, then you could rationalize going all in, like the Buccaneers. If Tom Brady was coming back for one more year, that's a team that should absolutely do anything to get the best wide receiver in football, just for
which they have, arguably.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so they did it right. They got their Super Bowl. Obviously didn't work out this year, but like you said, we got only 30 million in cap space. It's like 29 and change. I was trying to pull it up again, but I accidentally closed out of the tab.
No way.
Yes, we could trade pieces to, of course, free up more money, but we do have to, like you said, we have guys we have to re-sign, we have to extend. my two priority re-signings are Patrick Scales and Pat O'Donnell, honestly, because I mean, those guys, they take up, I think right now it'd be like $4 million. I guess they really negotiate with the Bears that it could be upwards of $5 million.
Whoa.
But I mean, that brings us right down to his minimum. That's his minimum offer that he wants, 25. We'd have 25 million left. And that'd be it.
And then you're stuck with the team that we have.
Yeah. James Daniels is up. Like you said, Bilal Nichols. So obviously that eats up all the money that we would have freed up from the trade anyway.
You can also go out and trade Khalil Mack. You can go out and trade Robert Quinn. As much as that stinks, I mean, it's going to be a two-headed monster next year, especially if, you play like Mack has played his entire career and how Quinn played this year. But it's hard to say. Like, I would rather have Roquan. Like, there's so many moves that Poles has to consider here. I mean, he's going to sign a cheap backup. There's no doubt about that. He's got cheap wide receivers. The Bears are just in a bad cap situation right now. And I think that a lot, 50 million of it alone is tied up in your defensive end. So if they can restructure and do signing bonuses like they've done the last 3 years and, 20 million more, by all means, go out and get Davante Adams. Also, what do you got to say, Tony?
I was going to say my biggest, just absolute anchor around our neck right now, in my opinion, is the 10 million cap hit we got coming up again from Nick Foles. That's the most annoying one. Because
got to get rid of that contract.
Yes, he was hurt this year, but he's Khalil Mack. I'll pay Khalil Mack for what he could potentially be. Nick Foles is literally doing nothing for us, and it's not his fault. It just is what it is.
Ryan Pace got offered, I believe, a 5th-round pick from the Jets for Foles, and he said no.
Are you kidding me? I would give up a 5th-round pick to get rid of that contract if it meant that we could go out and sign a big free agent.
Yes.
But $10 million is a lot of money.
And you know what? I would actually chew up 5 of that just to get 5 back at least. Yeah. I would take some of the hit. You got to spend money.
We re-signed Pat O'Donnell, Patrick Scales, and potentially, half of James Daniels' contract, right off the bat, right there.
Yeah, I mean, also you can get rid of Eddie Goldman. Okay, we're going way out. We're thinking like GMs right now. That's Ryan Poles' job. Even though we got offered it, we gave it to Ryan Poles. But Davante would be great. And there's so many possibilities. Ryan Poles is sitting there, Tony, you saw him drive to work today, and he's probably sitting there as he's driving going, okay, who can I move in this trade? Who can I do here? I'm not paying Andy Dalton next year. So anyway, really quickly before we close out today, we did say that there was a new head coach, or not head coach. Oh God. There was a new coach hiring for the defensive line coordinator position, Travis Smith from the Oakland Raiders. He spent the Las Vegas Raiders forever. That's like my Sears Tower. I can, I will just forever call them the Oakland Raiders till I finally get it. Eberflus. Anyway, so the Las Vegas Raiders, he's been with the Raiders the last 3 years as a assistant defensive line coach. Holy cow. He's been a coach with the Raiders since 2012 though. So he's really worked his way up. He worked with Khalil Mack when he first got to Oakland. So a little bit of a reunion there. Mm-hmm. And he helped a lot of success this past season for that defensive line. Oakland obviously has been a better defense over the last couple of years, and he's had a point in there. So good signing overall by him. I know there's not much more to it, but again, pretty awesome that the Bears are really taking investment into their coaching staff. They're taking from winning teams. Again, no coach that they picked up so far has not been a part of the playoffs in the last 2 years. So just want to put that out there. But Tony, anything else?
I like it. I think it's good. I think it's just a good pickup. I think the Raiders outperformed expectations, especially with the defensive line this year. And I think that's a guy, start working his way up kind of. And I think it's a good signing. And my last thing before we sign off here, just a quick shout out. Thank you everyone for listening to our stuff. We had a big episode, our last one, and we really appreciate every single one of you. That's why we're doing the giveaway. We really want to, give back to you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been a great 2022 so far in regards to Bears news. And Bulls news as well. We do cover the Bulls. Tony and Nick Barr get that done. So stay tuned for that. Awesome episodes, and stay tuned for Friday's episode as Tony's going to give his first weekend bets episode. It'll be in the Bears podcast, so stay tuned for that, and we'll give more updates on the giveaway and more reminders. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, joined alongside Tony Sapito, and we'll see you guys next time.